Welcome to Conscious Coupling, where Frederic and Christy Whitman share their experiences of creating a conscious, connected relationship. Every week, they give practical tools, steps, and processes to help you find the loving connection with your partner. Let's get into today's conversation with Frederic and Christy.
Hey everybody, it's Christy Whitman.
Hey everybody, it's Frederic Gobay.
And welcome to Conscious Connected Coupling. We want to let you know that we are counting down 4 more episodes to the completion of this podcast, because we started this podcast really having a lot to say, a lot of information. We know you can't get this information anywhere. You can get information on the drama triangle, but not as it relates to universal laws and working together as 2 married couples that are going through it. And the time has come to give out our information on a program that we created called From Drama to Love. You could actually go to fromdramatolove.com and learn more about it. That will really help you dive deeper into it. We've had a lot of really great conversations and really things that people don't talk about. And we're going to spend the next 4 episodes doing that, and then it's going to be a wrap. So obviously these episodes will be available so you can review them. But if you want to go deeper with Frederic and I in our work, we have this 30-day program. It's a video program. It's either myself, Frederic, or the both of us that are giving ways of understanding how you're in the drama triangle, chaos, struggle, separation with your partner, and how you can move into the circle of love. And it really combines everything that we've talked about here and more in a short little video program. And then of course we also offer our coaching programs and our couples retreats. We have an amazing VIP 5-star couples retreat in Costa Rica in 2021 over Valentine's Day week. Yeah, it's very exciting, very exciting. But for now, we are wrapping up these last 4 episodes. So today is all about how to be a conscious parent and how to empower your children. So this is a fun conversation because this is what we do as parents, is that we're here to teach our parents and parent like we would if we were the universe, meaning that they're...
Teach our children.
Yeah, but we want to parent our kids like we're the universe. There's always a cause and effect. You know, a lot of times I'll see parents that get so resourceless and like the kid's throwing a tantrum or something, and the parent, just to shut the kid up or just to calm the kid down because the parent doesn't know what to do, it gives the kid the toy or the candy or whatever the kid is wanting. And it's like, that's the worst thing we can do as parents, because we're rewarding a child for bad behavior. We're giving a reward for something that needs to have a consequence instead of a reward.
How much do we want to let go of how we want to empower our children, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we do need to let go at certain points, and we need to have them make their own choices. But yet again, they are children. So we are the parents, and we as parents want to make sure that they do make the right choices, that we kind of protect them, that we keep them into their energy of light, of how they are, and sometimes as parents, I guess we wrap them up in a bubble a little too much. And how much do we need to kind of let go of that?
Well, and the other thing is too, is that we want to be able to, as they're small kids, right? It's like we have to be in a rescue mode with them, because we don't know. I mean, they're crying because why? Are they hungry? Did they need their diaper changed? Are they tired? You know, what are they needing? We have to guess. And as they get older and are able to start communicating, we tend to do the same thing. We try to anticipate every need that they have and make things better for them. And at some point, around 6, 7, 8 years old, they have to start learning. Even before that, we were doing that with our kids. They have to start understanding that the behavior, the mood that they're in doesn't warrant some kind of reward. That life is based on cause and effect, and there are rewards and consequences. And to be able to praise your kids and give them the positive feedback and rewards, and not necessarily, we're not into punishing, but there's a consequence. If you do something that's not appropriate, then you lose this time, or you don't get this, or you don't get the whatever the reward is. And it's important that we don't rescue our kids. I have a example, like Alex is now 10, and it was to a point, and I think we've talked about this a little bit on the show before, that he gets really absent-minded in the mornings. And on Fridays, they're supposed to turn in their reading log, and they read 20 minutes a day, and we make sure that they do their homework, and so they write it down. And Alex consistently was forgetting it on Fridays, and so the teacher was still giving him full credit if he turned it in on Mondays. Well, then she let him know, listen, it's not okay. All the other kids are turning in their reading logs. You're only going to get half the credit. So Alex gets straight A's. He's very, studious, and he likes the fact that he gets straight A's. And now he is getting a B in language arts because he's now only getting half the credit for his reading log. So we sat down with him and said, okay, how can we set you up for success? It's not like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to rescue. We came to him. What do you need? What can we do to help you and set you up for success and support you so that you're remembering your reading log so you can turn it in on Fridays?
Yeah, because we've tried talking to him also and giving him reminders that he needs to give his reading log in, and that didn't work.
Oh, it's like this, literally, like, Alex, here's your reading log, make sure you bring your reading log. He takes it, he looks at Jack, he puts it down, plays with the dog, walks out the house. So, I mean, it's like, unless I shoved it up his butt, I mean, it was like, what? I'm like, what could we do to set you up for success? And he said, put a sign on the door that tells me to, what that I need every day, and I'll look at it and I'll remind it, because we're like water bottle, lunch, in the winter, jacket, and then on Fridays, reading log. So I typed up this sign. There's a sign on the door as he's walking out into the garage. That worked for about a week or two, maybe. And then he started forgetting his reading log again. And so he tells his father that it's because the sign's not big enough. So I bought one of those huge, big, pink neon signs, kind of like the color of my top, and it says, remember your reading log, and I put it right by the door, and he just laughed, but he remembered his reading log, right? And so now, when he's completed, he might read 40 minutes on a Monday or Tuesday, so he's completed with his reading log by Wednesday. He'll bring it earlier in the week to turn it in earlier. And so he's not forgetting it, because now he sees that his consequence was he got a B in that class rather than an A when he actually did the work. So by empowering our kids to show them that, they have choices. They have to take responsibility for what it is that they want in their lives. We're able to help them in that.
And a good thing is that the consequence doesn't come from us as the parent.
Right.
And often we'll hear parents give the child a consequence because he's not listening or he's not doing something. And I find
and
that
that's necessary sometimes.
Sometimes
yeah.
it is, yes, but not necessarily always. In this particular case, it's more like he got a consequence from the school.
Yeah.
So
his grade.
He understands that if there's something that he's not doing properly, then he'll have that consequence from someone else. So it's not all about, because now their world, used to revolve around mommy and daddy, but now the world is expanding for them, and it's more than just mommy and daddy. And so that's what I want to get into, is that now there's consequence on what affects their outside reality.
Yeah, and I remember a couple of years ago, it's probably like 3 years ago now, we went to Target, and I was with the boys, and I said, listen, Valentine's Day is coming up. I think it was like on a Thursday or something. It was a Sunday. We were at the store, and I said, do you guys want to do Valentine's, get Valentine's little cards or gifts or, candies or whatever? And Alex said yes. Maxim's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to participate. He just doesn't want to participate in stuff like that. Fine, that's his choice, right? And Alex is like, yeah, I do, but I don't want to get it now. And I said, well, it's either now or you have to let me know by tomorrow, which is Monday, because I'm not waiting till the last minute. And I said, so either pick it now. And he goes, well, I don't want to pick it now. And I go, okay. I go, just remember that you have tomorrow. I'll go to the store tomorrow, but that's it. And so I told him on Monday, the next day, I said, did you figure out what you want to give the kids, for the Valentine's gifts? And he goes, no, I have to think about it a little bit more. And I said, listen to me, if you don't pick it today and I don't go to the grocery store today, you're not giving the Valentine's. And he goes, okay, Mom, I'll let you know. And I let it go. And so I wake him up on Thursday morning on Valentine's Day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he wakes up and he goes, "Oh no, it's Valentine's Day. You gotta go run to the store and get me the candies." And I looked at him and I said, "I'd have to do what now? No, I told you Sunday and I told you Monday. This is your opportunity. If you want me to buy you something for the kids at school for your Valentine's Day, that's it." I go, "You're expecting me now to run out before school, which nothing's open, and inconvenience myself." So I said, if you really want to give Valentine's Day stuff, you're gonna have to figure out a solution for yourself. And I went downstairs, I got ready, did what we needed to do, and he came up. He created little they were like cards that he made for every kid in his class because he felt it was important. He did it right before school, remember that? Mm-hmm. And so it was like, I wasn't being the rescuer, I was empowering him that, hey, here's your choices. Had I went, oh, okay, and I ran out to school, which how many parents would do that, right? Go before school and have it be drama and chaos.
And all frustrated and panicking and upset and screaming, right?
Right.
And I'm basically having a conflict now with him.
Right.
And ending up in a fight. And so instead, it's like figuring out, so not letting the buttons being pushed from him, because these are things that our children do. They'll come over and they'll push our buttons. They'll push the things that patterns in us that are inside of us, and all of a sudden these come out, and they come out in sideways. They come out in a frustration, right? In a heightened level of emotion, a discharge of yelling or something. So instead, you were very,
I was very calm. It's like, oh hell no, that ain't happening.
That you're not gonna rescue him. That he had to figure out something on his own.
But here's the thing, if that had been years ago and I hadn't done my own work and I wanted to be that old perfect mom, I wanted to be the most perfect mom that I could possibly be. I want to be the best mom I can be, but I don't try to be perfect anymore because I'm not perfect. If that was the old me and I didn't have this information, I would have actually ran out to the store. And I know many moms would have done that and then felt resentful and pissed off and the whole thing. And that's where it was like, I set up a boundary and said, sorry, I told you, I gave you many warnings. Now what are you gonna do? And that's how we have to empower our kids, is they have to say, like we did with the reading log, this is your grade. This is your work. You need to get credit for doing your work. How can we're willing to help you. Let us set you up for success. If there's something you need help with or we need to do for you, what would that be for you? He's the one that came up with the sign. He's the one that says, not a big enough sign, right? Mm-hmm. So these are things that we have to be able to encourage our kids and show them that life is consequences. It's law of attraction. What you give out comes back. If you were, being in a bad mood and being negative, wow, it's no wonder that happened or at the soccer game, or and no wonder you lost your game. It's a showing them that it's a law of attraction. It's a cause and effect. It's rewards and consequences, and they need to learn that early, because I can't tell you how many adults I coach that they got their training, as we all have, from mom and dad. And what most people don't realize is that what we do with mom and dad as our people that take care of us is we extend that into our understanding of what God is or what the universe is. And so, people get into this victim mentality because they were learned in that, it was learned for that for them. And then they get into a victim role with the universe, which none of us is a victim. And that's one of the things that we talk about in the From Drama to Love, that, we have to get out of that role and thinking of being a victim, because we are empowered people and we have many, many choices. And so when you empower your kids, it's like we get empowered as an adult. It's all based on what are our options, because there's always options, and what are our choices? And then choose what feels best for you, because that's really how to empower your kids. We have to remember that as parents, we're the adult, and that if we're coming from our 8-year-old to an 8-year-old, then there's going to be power struggles. But if you are always, one of our mentors would tell us that your adulthood is really a time for you to grow up your child. And if I know sometimes I see it with Frederic and Alex, like his 10-year-old is
butting up against
they're in a power.
My child's 10-year-old.
Well, so I'm saying your inner 10-year-old is because Alex is 10. I could see it. It's this power struggle between two 10-year-olds, and then when he remembers, wait, I'm the adult, and he gets into his man, then there's no question about. It's not a power over, power under, but it's like he's the adult. It's his house. He makes the rules. He's the child, and.
It's having the awareness, right? It's
right.
I'm now having the awareness, and I'm aligned with my own power, right? As a man, as an adult, now I don't need to have a talk with Alex and start arguing with him because he's a child. He wants to understand why this is happening. All of the questions that a child has. Sometimes it's answering a couple of them and it's enough. And as a child, sometimes Alex will push the boundaries. That's normal. But as an adult,
he pushes them way beyond most children.
It's up to us to say, all right, now I've told you that, and it's enough. Now let's move on to something else. And so that's where the adult comes in play, and knowing when to stop it, when to not have listen to the inner adult, take control of the situation and not the child.
So to wrap this up, to empower your kids is you have to have them understand that this is a cause and effect universe. What you give out comes back. It's either, we're either repelling things from us or attracting things to us. In their language, it's either there's a reward or there's a consequence. And when they understand that, because they have to be responsible for the energy, their attitude, their thoughts. And you know what, for me, we've been talking to our kids before they can even understand, before they can talk, because at what point do you then teach the kids? There's gotta be a point at which you teach them. And there's no better time than whatever age they are to start talking to them about that. Their thoughts create their reality. And if they are misbehaving, don't give them rewards for that. Find out for yourself if you're frustrated as a parent and you feel resourceless. There's many, many options for you too. There's so many different coaches that have gone through the QSEA, the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, that do parenting coaching. And you can reach out to Tabitha at ChristyWhitman.com if you need that extra resource and support. If you yourself as a parent need that support. If you're having your own buttons pushed, that's what myself and the Council of Light do, is that we help release and shrink those buttons so that you're coming from an adult, you're coming from a very empowered, aligned place within yourself. If you're having issues in your couple, that's what Frederic and I do as far as helping the couples through our couples retreats, and really, suggesting for anybody, because this is an amazing piece of work, is the From Drama to Love. You can go fromdramatolove.com to learn more information. But if there's buttons, you got to remember the buttons are inside of you. Can't parent from the buttons, because then you're teaching your kids to have the buttons. And the other thing is, just remember you're the adult. And so next episode will be our third to last, and we are talking about all the objections of doing couples work, like why one person in the couple wants to do it and why the other one won't or don't. And so come back next week as we wrap up our couples conscious connected coupling.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Conscious Coupling with Frederic Gobet and Christy Whitman. If you like our show and want to know more, check out ChristyWhitman.com. And please leave us a review on iTunes. Learn how to turn your partner into your soulmate. Join us again next week for another powerful episode.